Hi everybody and welcome on a new video on NetSlices. This is your host Ali Al-Hassani, and today we are going to talk about DHCP server on a Cisco switch. That means we are configuring the necessary configuration commands on a Cisco switch to deliver IP addresses to the host connected to that switch. This video is suitable for you network admins, network engineers, anyone who is interested in switching, routing, Cisco technology, CCNA, CCNP or equivalent. So please join me. On the previous video, I showed you how to we talked about DHCP in general, and we configured a Cisco switch with two ports, one of them connected to a PC and the other connected to a DHCP server, and that DHCP server sent an IP address to that PC upon this discovery request, and there were 4 packets. We looked at that in the previous video. Both the PC and the DHCP server were on the same layer 2, which means on the same VLAN. Check that video please if you want to. On this video we are going instead to put the necessary configuration on the switch to deliver an IP at the end, an IP address to the PC connected. So please join me. Let me show you. This is the PC that we wanted to get an IP on its Ethernet port at the end of this session. Right now it's not getting a valid IP on the Ethernet, it's getting a self-generated IP instead. While this PC on its I think I need an IP at least on its wireless. Let me fix that quickly. Let's do that. We will get an IP address here to connect remotely to a host. Yeah, we are getting an IP on the wireless adapter. So let us also check the Wireshark, how it looks like regarding the DHCP. Yes, as expected, the PC on the Ethernet port just sending those discovery packets, and there are no one answering those packets. So let's see at the end of this session how this will look like. So here we are going to that Cisco switch. We are having this PC on port 6. Let's see how this port look. Zero 6. Yeah, it's on VLAN 10. And that means if we look to this configuration, we are having, imagine that this is the switch on the port 1. Right now there's nothing connected, but this port 1 sitting on VLAN 10, and we have other ports sitting on VLAN, for example this one, the second port on VLAN 6, the third port on VLAN 1, and we have port number 6 sitting. There's this PC sending a discovery packet. That packet will be broadcasted, let's take another color, will be broadcasted on whatever port having the VLAN 10. So imagine if this port was connected and there were another PC. That PC will get that packet, but as long as it doesn't have a DHCP server, then it will just drop that packet. So So every single host connected on VLAN 10 will get that discovery packet because the discovery packet is a broadcast. So actually, let's take that, the FF, if you know what I mean. Let me show you, because this is a switch, and the things that will happen here is a switching. So that MAC address with all F will be a broadcast frame. It's the number that makes the switch react or take it as a broadcast. We'll send it all over the VLAN 10. So right now, let's continue with our configuration. What we need here on the switch to configure a virtual interface on VLAN 10. Interface VLAN 10, and let's give it an IP address of 10.0.10.1. Now that was quick to end up right away. So we are giving it an IP address of 1 with the /24, and I think we do not need to do no shutdown, it's already up. So let's look at that. Show IP interface brief, include 10. Here is it, VLAN 10 is up. After that, we need to configure a DHCP configuration. The VLAN interface VLAN 10, that one will act as a default gateway for this PC sitting on the port 6. So let's configure the DHCP configuration necessary. That would be IP DHCP pool of let's call it NetSlices DHCP. Then we need a network. Here's an important thing to understand. The network IP has to be from the same, or sitting on the same network. This host has to be on the same network that you need to act as a DHCP server in this case. And that would be, let's configure a net mask that match. Now we have configured the network. Let's configure DHCP. If you want to, you can even configure yeah, of course, you need to configure default gateway, default router of 1. So we are telling, the DHCP is telling the clients that this is the router, and right now probably the PC got an IP, but we will check that soon. If you want to configure DNS configuration, then you need to put some IP for the DNS here. If you want to make it also professional, you need to configure DHCP exclude addresses. I would really recommend that you save some IPs, the first 5 or 10 or 20, whatever you feel necessary, but it's quite important to spare some IPs to be used for some purposes. For example, if you want to run VRRP or HSRP or another, yeah, reserved for another purpose. So let's now see how it looks like. Don't forget to save, and let's see how does it look like from the PC side. So let's do IP config. Up until now, the PC doesn't have an IP. So let's see how we are going to solve that. Might be, let's see if the MAC address is there. that's supposed to be the PC MAC address. Let's bounce that port. And see if that triggered something. Nothing yet. Show run interface. Show IP DHCP binding. Nothing. Let's do that like debug DHCP. Debug IP DHCP. Server packet. Let's see here if the PC is sending something. Here we go. The PC might have got an IP of 11. Let's see if that's correct. Yes, that's it. So the PC got an IP 10.0.10.11, and that's the default gateway. If you want to check more for the full information, then you will use the ipconfig/all. That's the DNS that we configured. That's the default gateway and the DHCP server, and that's the network mask physical IP, physical address. So that's it. Let's see from the perspective of the Wireshark. Here's somewhere the PC send a discovery and then happened an offer from the DHCP server offering the IP of 11 to the PC. Then the PC send request and the DHCP server acknowledged that. The commands, sometimes you might need to use a DHCP, service DHCP, if the DHCP service is not enabled. Probably you'll find that in Nexus. You might need that. I had to use IP subnet 0 before that because I have an very old switch. So I think if you're using a newer switch, you might not need that command for the DHCP service to work. The other commands that is used, those were the pool, IP DHCP pool, network default gateway. Let's remove that. And I would, as I said, I recommend to use that. It's not a must, but it's recommended. The interface VLAN configuration, the VLAN configuration has to be there also. I have also put some verification command at the end. Let's look at them. Here are they. You might need also to run show IP DHCP bindings. Was the wrong. Sorry, it was here. Here's it. You might, if you want to see how it looks like from the perspective of the switch, you can run show IP DHCP bindings. Binding. Yeah, then the switch will tell you that I assigned the IP of 10.0.10.11 to that MAC address, and that was the lease expiration, and this is automatic. You can configure static or manual also. What else? What other commands? IP DHCP conflict, IP DHCP server packet. Let's see, IP DHCP show IP DHCP packet. Show IP DHCP server packet. Show IP DHCP server. As you see, there are many other commands. statistics. Yeah, check upon that. Address pool 1, automatic binding 1, tell you the memory and other statistics. So I think that's it. I hope that you find this video useful. Please like the channel and share the video if you find it beneficial. Thank you for listening, and goodbye.